moving on to video number 2 now. So, yeah, I haven't really thought about what I want to talk about. I'm just going with the flow a bit today. Let's talk about biscuits. So I guess it's really random, this video. I'll be quite interested to know what your 3 favourite biscuits are. I've been thinking about this lately. You know, I am a foodie, so I think about food a lot. My 3 favourite biscuits, I think, are Jaffa cakes, although technically speaking, Jaffa cake is not a biscuit, and there was actually a whole legal debate about this. I think it's in the 1990s, the whole Jaffa Wars, when it was eventually decreed that actually Jaffa is a cake, and it's all down to tax, really. If it was a biscuit, they'd have to pay a higher tax because luxury biscuits are taxed more than cake. And in the end, it was decided that Jaffa cakes were a cake. If you're in America, by the way, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to explain. A Jaffa cake, which is a British product, I'm not sure if they sell them in America, but they're basically like, okay, so at the bottom, you have like a round bit of cake, I guess you could call it, a little bit like sponge cake, sort of spongy texture. Yeah, sponge cake like texture, and then on top of that, in a round circle, they're round, so on top of a round bit of cake you then have a sticky, citrusy jelly, I guess you could call it, a little bit like marmalade, but a lot stickier. It's quite sticky, but it's citrusy, kind of like, yeah, I think in America you call it jelly, don't you? Which is the British equivalent of kind of jam, but it's very sticky, a bit tacky and sticky, you know, it's chewy. And then on top of that, you have a round chocolate covering. So it's cake, sticky, marmaladey jelly, and then on top you have chocolate covering. That's a Jaffa cake. But there was this whole debate as to whether it should be a biscuit or a cake, and they ended up deciding it was actually a cake, even though it's about the size of a biscuit. In America, what do you call biscuits in America? Is it cookies? I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess what you'd call a cookie in America. But they're kind of small and round. But I personally think they should get more closer to biscuits. I know that technically they do have cake at the bottom, but they're about the size of a biscuit, or a small cookie, I guess you call it in America. And I mean, you often tend to eat them with tea or coffee and things, like you dunk them, you know. But yeah, so Jaffa cake, I would say, is probably one of my favourite quote-unquote biscuits, although technically it was decreed to be a cake in the Jaffa Wars, which are all about tax, really. Again, I would say my next favourite biscuit is probably digestives, but to me, digestive would have to be Dove's Farm, organic. If you're in America, by the way, I'm not quite sure how you'd explain. I think you have something similar in America called Graham's crackers, I think, from my reading. But you'd have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's probably would be a similar entity to the Graham cracker, kind of a more kind of like virtuous cookie straight biscuit. But yeah, digestives. They don't actually really help with your digestion. That's just a marketing thing. And then I'll say finally I'd probably go with shortbread or shortcake. No, shortbread. Yeah, shortbread. I'd go with that. So do let me know what your 3 favourite biscuits, or if you're in America, cookies are. I'll be interested to know. And the other things that have been going on lately, oh god, it's getting me so down. Well, not down. Down's probably a bit too extreme, but this whole COVID situation, it's just been dragging on and on and on. I mean, in the UK now, we're coming up to the 1st anniversary of the lockdown last year, and yeah, it's just going on and on and on. And I mean, I effectively have been in lockdown all year. Obviously, there have been ups and downs, and lockdown has been removed and then put in place again. But for me, it's just been one permanent lockdown in terms of the fact I've been practically homebound, just going out once for half an hour to 1 hour, just round the block walk, same walk every day because it feels safe, for the whole year. So being autistic and being very routine driven and rule bound and structured anyway, I guess it doesn't impact me as much as say as if I was an extrovert and had different needs. But even so, even for someone as routine driven as me, it is getting rather dispiriting now. You start to think, how long is this going to go on for? When will I have the freedom your psychological freedom more than anything else, to feel like I go on a train and go like a local place or go to a tea room. You know, it's not like I did that often because I've got so many issues. I feel like climbing Mount Everest doing those things. But at least, you know, I had some freedom of sorts to at times venture into the big wide world, and I enjoyed it when I was in a mood. And I just wish I miss my little trips, trips down to the local towns, walking around window shopping on quiet days. You know, I miss being able to do that, you know. Miss being able to see my support worker. I can't see anyone at the moment. You know, even just having my dad round for tea, I can't do that. I mean, yes, I can, it's within the rules, you know, forming little bubbles if you like, but my OCD won't allow it. So, yeah, it's difficult. So I've been coping through my collections mainly. It's not like I'm spending money on anything else, you know. I don't have any vices or anything, you know. I don't smoke, I don't drink. So the money I do have, I like to, it's my therapy basically. You know, some people spend money on therapy. This is my therapy. I don't spend money on anything else other than food. So this is my therapy. Basically, I complete my collection. So I've been like getting some nice mugs, some nice china, because I can't go anywhere, I can't go to cafes. So, you know, I want to make my home life as enjoyable as possible. So yeah, bringing it outside in a bit. So I've been completing my collections. Recently I've been collecting classic fine china mugs. Usually in my collections I have to like get about 4 of each item. I don't know, 4 just feels like a nice neat equal number. So I need to get 1 more of those mugs. They're like these they weren't like that expensive, about £12. But they're like but yeah, spreading it out. It's like they're quite large, kind of classic Victorian style coffee mugs. They're like so retro. I'm really into retro stuff. And the other thing I've been collecting cushions, anything just to make a home space feel extra kind of you know, safe, I guess, because I can't go out. Yeah, making me feel good. So you know, it's all good. It's my therapy, like I say. At least I'm not smoking or drinking, so you know, it's alright. And also, oh yes, and my Beatrix Potter collection as well. I've completed that now. I love it when I complete a collection, because I'm a completist. But I've just been getting a few, not every single one, only the ones I like, but just a few of their cuddly toys from, I think it's a Gund company, where they do like the classic Beatrix Potter toys direct from the stories. So I've got the Tiggy Winkle, I've got the Jemima Puddle Duck, just little ones on my windowsill, they're so cute. And I also got the bunny, Flopsy Bunny, and Peter Rabbit and his mother, they're so cute. Straight for the stories. So yeah, that's kind of, and it keeps me sane, ultimately, it keeps me sane, you know. Little gifts from Amazon. It keeps me sane. Yeah, I do feel a little bit guilty when I come in those massive boxes, you know. Normally, in pre-COVID times, I wouldn't be doing this, and normally in pre-COVID times, I'd be going out and doing other stuff, you know, but you know, such is the times, you have to do whatever you have to do whatever you need to do to stay sane, and at least I'm not drinking or smoking. That's what I say to my dad. So yeah, it's all to get good, but I just hope that this whole, because it's just getting so frustrating, you know. I just hope that this whole situation resolves. On a vaccine front, I'm pleased to inform you that the GP has said I can have a home visit because I can't go out to the vaccination clinic because I'm OCD. So when my time comes, they will be able to do it in the garden. I can let them do it in the back garden, and then they can come through the side gate, and then I won't feel they're contaminating anything, and I will feel less contaminated having it done outside. So they have agreed to do that adjustment. I'm lucky I only live a couple of steps down from the surgery, so it's not like a big deal. And now they can use vaccines, so don't need a cold chain anyway. And obviously because of my issues and my OCD, yeah, they've agreed to, so it's a reasonable adjustment, you know, so that's very good. But I talk about that more in another video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. Do please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I very much like this video. That looks, yes, yeah. But I very much look forward to speaking to you again next week. So thank you for watching.